Yeah.
And the gray means indicates bondage. Black indicates S and M, but orange generally means anything goes.
Anything go, dude. You realise, guys, do you understand what that means? Anything goes means anything goes. Okay? No limits. Listen, guys, I do get it way more now than I did a couple of months ago. Okay? Tipster has got a habit of just fucking things up, seemingly by accident, right? The most recent example of this, which is why we're talking about this now, is of course this recent drama that's happened with this charity Rainbow Passage, okay? So Rainbow Passage is a charity that is, how do I put this? How do we put it in the title? I can't remember. But basically they're like a charity for LGBT people. And the idea is that they move people away from problematic home lives and towns and stuff like that to safer places based on their LGBT identity, right? But they've also got some extremely odd choices of like promotion. Like, for example, they do this Discord slumber party, right? Which is, why would you call it a slumber party? That's something that predominantly is for children. Oh, here we go. Bo Black slams tips to promote. Yeah, freaky trans charity. Slumber parties, that was it, yeah. So there's like a problem there in terms of like, why are you promoting what is ostensibly a thing that is associated with childhood linked to this LGBT fucking aspect when there's a lot of narratives about LGBT people, groomers and shit like that? Why not just call it like hangout or something like that? Adult only hangout. Or maybe not adult only because that's a bit porno. But just like, make it clear that it's for adults and it's just a chill, not slumber party. Slumber party gives the impression of, young girls fucking hanging out together. Very odd. And the reason that this became a thing was because Tipster decided to go after Bo Blacks for criticizing this charity when the nature of what Bo Black said was quite limited. It was like, yeah, he was talking shit on them, but that probably would have been it. But then Tipster decided to try and go at Bo Blacks for going after this charity, which led to more scrutiny and more attention. And now there's like more stuff that's come out about it, including about this guy called Animal Smith.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, we need you to moderate the debate between Tipster and Bo.
Yes!
You're fair in this whole situation.
I am probably the fairest person to deal with this. I'm probably the fairest person to deal with all of this. I completely agree. I would support that. Thank you very much for the $10. But yeah, Tipster, exactly that. He Streisanded this whole thing into existence because his defense of it and the drama that's kind of cropped up around this has led to way more scrutiny on this charity than was ever going to happen in the first place, right? And now you'll see in a sec, but people are like screaming bloody murder and acting like there's some mass harassment campaign that's happened, right? When all that's fucking happened is people have scrutinized a charity because of some questionable actions that have been engaged in terms of promotion. And then the background of some of the people that are on like the board of this charity, right? And call me crazy, but I don't think it's unreasonable that you'd want to scrutinize a charity in this way. Not to say that anyone's doing it for good reasons. Clearly people are doing it for drama and stuff. But we've got people looking at public posts from public-facing members of a charity, and people are acting like it's some sort of anti-gay harassment campaign or something like that. And Bo Blacks is like super woke on this shit too. He's incredibly woke on this. Anyway, let's have a look at this.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Spicy chat bought me the rope. Chudlogic is paragraph 1 of my note.
Alec Gunter, thank you for the 420.
Hey everyone, welcome to Unleashed. Pup Twigs here from Orlando, Florida, and I'll get the the honor of having Pup Bruiser from San Francisco, California on with me today. How are you, Pup Bruiser?
I'm doing great, Pup Twigs. How are you today?
I couldn't be better and stuff. It's a great warm day here, and it's just...
Oh wait, I should probably be explaining what's going on here, right? So this here is, or I should say was, which we'll get to.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Ruff, 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 stop harassing me. I am just a poor 62-year-old pup. Bark, bark, bark.
So this guy on the left is or was the head of like settlement, or the head of like, you know, moving people for this charity, Rainbow Passage, right? Which we'll get to. Okay. And when I looked at this the other day, my take was, well, this charity's nothing to do with me. I've got no control over it. I'm not looking to see anything happen myself. But to me, if I was running a charity or owned a charity or had some involvement, I would want the directors, the board of directors or the management people to be squeaky clean. And I'd want them to be, you know, buttoned down, suit and tie, you know, no crazy shit on the internet or anything like that, because you're representing a charity. And I think you've got to put your best foot forward and have the best possible people representing the charity. And this guy is complaining because people are looking at posts of his and they've kind of just folded immediately. Like they've just, this guy is, which we'll get to, has ended up leaving off the back of people watching some public content, bear in mind, so it's been posted publicly and mocking him. And that's been enough for him to call it some sort of harassment campaign. You know, like the worst thing I've seen, the absolute worst thing I've seen is like a 2-follower account that is talking about, it's called like contact the IRS about Rainbow Passage or something. Like that is the worst thing that I've seen, is a 2-follower account with some stupid fucking name saying, go to the IRS about this charity. You know, other than that, the main format has just been people talking about and mocking him publicly for some of this stuff, you know?
People?
This targeted harassment gave me rabies and now I'm on the hunt for bigots and chuds like you.
And here's the thing, people talk about kink shaming, okay? I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you go onto the internet with a fucking leather pup mask on, right? Whether or not you want to moan about being kink shaming, people are going to mock you for that because it's funny. It's like being a fucking furry, right? I remember a little while ago, do you remember this? Furries were trying to claim the same sort of prejudice as gay people face. Like, what? Because you wear a fucking fursuit. Yeah, if you do something a bit weird, people are going to fucking laugh about that, you know? What happened to the privacy of my own bedroom shit? Do you remember that? Oh, why do you care about what goes on behind someone's fucking bedroom? We're not in someone's bedroom, we're on YouTube and you're wearing a fucking leather mask like a dog. What do you mean? This is not in anyone's bedroom. You're doing this publicly. So you welcome public fucking scrutiny. You know, if I was fucking on the internet doing interviews about my fucking sex life and the kinks and shit that I'm into, okay, I would not, it'd be insane to me to expect for that not to be fucking discussed and scrutinized and talked about. Because I'm doing it publicly. I'm talking about it publicly.
It's
crazy.
Great to be able to put this pup hood on and spend a little bit of time with you today. Yeah, yes. So tell me a little bit about the name Bruiser.
All right. My name is spelled by my master, B-R-U-Z-R, which is because I'm such a dumb mutt, I don't deserve all the vowels.
Bro, this dude is out here talking about having a master job. No, don't look. Guys, stop talking about this weird shit. No, you're not allowed to. All this public stuff, not allowed. I just don't understand how anyone can complain about this getting looked at. It's just too funny, man.
It's you know, that's the kind of that's the kind of pup I am. I've had the name Bruiser since about 2007. I had gone through the gay married thing back in New England, and
it's a non-profit. It's a non-profit organization. So Rainbow Passage is a non-profit, and you know they don't seem to have much discernment because this guy is in like what was in a senior position. Like, listen, I do have to check myself a bit, okay? Because I was feeling it the other day, where I feel like people wanted me to have a go at this person for being an AIDS guy, okay? And
Okay,
like,
that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Is this the R-rated remake of Paw Patrol? I don't remember the show looking like this.
Racism. Thank you for the 333. Yeah, this guy is like an HIV/AIDS advocate. Well, not advocate as in for it, but against it, I think. Who knows? Anyway, I'm pretty sure he's you know, talking about the plight of the AIDS and HIV patients of the gay community, okay? But I'm not having a go at this guy because he's AIDS. Because he suffers. What's the woke way to say it? Because he struggles with the HIV process. I don't fucking know. I'm not having a go at him because of that, okay? Right? Now listen, we don't need to get into how he got it. I mean, I think, you know, that's probably something we don't want to fucking get into, okay? Because I've heard stories, let's put it that way, okay? I've seen the film about what's his face from Queen. What's his name? What's the guy's name from Queen? Freddie Mercury, you know? And it's like...
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Someone interviewed the leader of the org. Sounds like a bunch of bed blobs LARPing in Discord.
Maybe with $5. Yeah, I watched that. I watched that on stream, didn't I? All I'll say is this, okay? Go and watch the movie about Freddie Mercury, okay? And there's lots of scenes of him engaging in extreme sex acts with multiple partners. And then all of a sudden he's got AIDS. I mean, I don't know what that's about. I'm just explaining the plot of a movie, okay? That's all I'm going to say on that one, right? Okay. Okay. Anyway, it's not about that, okay? Like, having AIDS does not preclude you from having a position of power at a fucking organization. In fact, I don't think it can, because, you know, that's obviously against... There's probably some law where you can't have too much of a go at the AIDS patients because it's too much, you know, or something. Which is right, by the way, because we don't want to discriminate, okay? No discrimination. However, I think that having a public and over kink situation that you've gone on podcasts to talk about, you know, I think putting that person in a position of senior management at a charity associated with the LGBTs is probably just a bad idea, all things considered. And you probably want to be a little bit more, you know, suited and booted if you want to do that sort of thing, right? And I think that sometimes you get kind of like certain people who are very open with their kinks and what they're into and the sexual stuff, but they don't seem to have that kind of recognition of like, okay, society is not really on board with this stuff, so I probably do need to be cautious in how I engage because I don't want people to look down on me for having certain kinks. It's like they want to push out there all of their craziest stuff that they get into and they're into, and then act offended when people look at it and go, that's a bit weird, because they want a society where you're not judged for those things. Now listen, call me crazy. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get to a stage where we look at PUP-PLAY and we're like, yep, we're totally accepting of that with no questions, okay? But we're definitely not there yet, regardless. Yeah, exactly. See, this is it. This is it. Decency and modesty, okay? Decency and modesty. If you want to go to your fucking gay bar and have your fun and do whatever, or go to your bedroom and do it in the fine. But some people just really don't have this sense of decency and modesty, and then they want to be able to like have a senior management role at a fucking charity. And it's like, those two things just do not go hand in hand. They just don't, unfortunately. Okay? So anyway, we'll watch a bit more of this, mainly because it's funny, and then we'll look at some other stuff.
And I got abandoned after 3 years. And I was down in my hometown in coastal Connecticut.
Okay,
and
that's wonderful.
I was thinking,
thanks for the $5.
Well, I certainly don't want to keep that
More
pup
jobs.
name, because I've over the years since 1987 when I first came out as a pup.
Okay, that's wonderful. How do I make money?
I've had several names.
The man dresses up
I've
as a
gone.
dog and calls himself Mutt. He's unironically insane. It's your duty to discriminate. I demand that you discriminate.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. My bullies.
I've channeled, if you will, several different pups over the course of the years. And the pup I was with that individual I was married to in those days, I figured I didn't want to sustain that poor creature. So I was looking for a new name, and I was thinking, I've been knocked around. I really feel just like I'm showing bruises all over the place. And also personally, because I'm so fair skinned, I have a Swedish background, so my skin is very, very fair. And when I bruise beautifully. I've actually been in demos where people would beat me up using various so they could see the bruises come out. And
this dude was what the fuck, man? Yeah, anyway, I've just got done talking to this podcast about getting beaten to the bruises show up to the sexual satisfaction of my partner. Anyway, you got any management roles at your charity that I could take? This charity is a fucking joke if they're like not thinking that this is going to potentially be a fucking problem. If people start to look at this shit, dude. Fucking hell.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you very much. Sweden's not claiming. Guys, you guys are way too fucking bigoted. I need like a sense check from people that are a bit more woke than you guys tend to be, okay? Because I'm thinking, I don't think I'm being unreasonable. You guys are going to be like, yeah, he's this, and this, fuck this guy. But I'm trying to think of this more like down the line. And I'm like, I don't think I'm crazy to say that if you want to have a senior position at a charity, you should have a bit of fucking sense and, decency and discretion in order to not look like a total fucking freak. And if you do have stuff like that, you should probably take that into account when you're going to do this and going to be a public face of charity.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Take him to the pound and not the kind he likes.
Woke representation, this is weird and you are correct. It feels like these people live in a world that they envision where they never get shamed or talked about for having a kink or something like that. And I'm just like, that's not the world we live in though. And I don't know if I want to live in that world personally, but even if we get to that point, I mean, it's a long way away. And I think for the nearer future, you're going to need to be a bit more fucking buttoned down if you want a senior position at a fucking charity.
They come out and they go full color. And so I bruise so easily. So I came up with the name Bruiser, Bruiser. And then my master and husband, we got married the end of this past March after 14 years together. Made an honest mud out of me, right? And when we decided to, he actually collared me 20 years ago.
Oh my God!
I was training him how to be a dog, and he flipped me. He caught me off guard and flipped me, used my dog name on me, and kabang, ever since then, he's been my master. And so my master decided when we got together for our...
Also, another thing I want to point out as well, okay? Another thing I want to point out too. This isn't just about the gays, by the way, okay? Who remembers Pup Girl? There was a girl that did this, a woman that did this, and she pretended to be a fucking doggo. And the reaction from the internet was, this is fucking weird, okay? It's not just because they're gay. Yeah, Puppy Girl Jenner. People thought Puppy Girl Jenner was fucking weird too. So I don't want to hear any noise about how this is just the gays.
But how do I
because people think it's
money
equally
off
weird.
depressed people?
Bring back shame.
True. Thank you for the super chat. When it's a woman doing this shit too.
24/7 thing in 2009 that he would spell it Bruzr, and it stuck. So here I am.
Love the story. Love the story. Well, I noticed that you have orange on your pup hood. Is there significance to the color orange, or do you interchange different colors at times?
Hans, thanks for the bits. These guys are built like they masturbated to Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's worse because they're gay. Okay. Styler, you would say that, okay?
From time to time, I entertain different
I
colors,
disavow.
depending on the occasion. For instance, I gave a pup history presentation to the folks on the Discord server I belong to, a pup-oriented Discord server, and for that I wore a hood that's a little bit tighter and had a purple a purple and a purple and I guess magenta snout
Okay.
thing, which was a gift to me from my beta. So I wore that, for that particular one. But orange is my basic color.
Okay.
And then that comes from two areas. First of all, as a Leatherman, my colors were orange and gray, and continue to be orange and gray. Gray and black also. Gray primarily because gray means bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And
It just keeps getting crazier. Oh my god! Listen, it's only a bit longer. I'm not going to watch all of it. Okay, I'm just trying. Listen, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get you guys to see what this guy's all about. Okay, because what you need to figure out is if you want to let this guy be a senior kind of manager at your non-profit to help rehouse LGBT adults, to be clear. Use ? In the future, dependent on legal approval, to be very clear.
I've always, ever since I came out, I have been very hardcore. I would always go right into the most, the tightest, the most extreme, extreme in the sense of restraint of, how severely can you be tied up? How long can you take it tied up to all fours, hobbled? What happened? Exploring every aspect of it. And so that's always been a very gray as a in the traditional hanky codes. And I got to say, I've always hated the word hanky, for goodness sake. It's we're not having.
Oh, I know about this. I know about this. Basically, what gay fellas do is if you go to a gay bar, okay, you put a handkerchief in your back pocket, and the color denotes what you're into. Okay. So, yeah, I know. Okay. I don't know because I'm gay and I've practiced this, which I haven't, to be clear. Okay. I just talk to people. I communicate and I hear about things. Okay. But yeah, you put it in your back pocket and then people can look and go, oh, he's into fucking taking a bit of cock. Oh, he's into fisting. Oh, he's into getting pissed on. Lovely, lovely stuff. Depending on the color. I don't know the colors though. Okay, that's my one saving grace. I've got no idea what the actual colors are. But I remember I went on some fucking gay thing ages ago.
Okay,
some
that's wonderful.
fucking
But how do I
woke
make
gay
money
podcast years
off
ago.
depressed
And
people?
they educated me on it. Probably trying to groom me into being gay. Hey, the only pans. Biggest nightmare is a trip to the vet. Have you guys not... Okay, maybe you're just antisocial. Have you never spoken to the token gay fella in your office about shit? You've never spoken to them and they've told you crazy stories. You ever had that before? That's probably because you're homophobic, honestly. But no, you just talk to them and they tell you, you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, this thing in London that happened. You're like, fucking hell. Bit much, isn't it?
Tea or anything like that, or bandanas, but whatever.
See, Malkaz knows because Malkaz is not antisocial like the rest of you. All the time, they got the craziest stories. Any story that a straight person tells you about some sexcapade that happened, okay, will get blown out of the water every time by the most mild story, the most mild gay story. It's just orders of magnitudes crazier every single time, even the most mild story, Well, listen, if you don't want to hear it, that's fine. Okay, but don't act like I'm the crazy one because I want to hear crazed tales of insanity to then tell you all about on stream.
Yeah. And the gray means gray indicates bondage. Black indicates S&M. And orange, depending on which interpretation you go with, and what side you wear it on, it's all complicated and stuff like that. But orange generally means anything goes.
Anything go, dude. Anything goes. You realize, guys, do you understand what that means? Right? Anything goes means anything goes. Okay? No limits. No fucking limits. Anything. Oh God. Is that what he's gonna say he's into?
So when I come, so orange and gray are my primaries, with black as an amplifier. Which when I flag all three, it means I will do whatever I want to. I will tie you up in any way I want to, whenever and wherever I want to, and it's probably going to hurt.
Okay. So he's saying that like the three colors together is kind of like a, you know, Voltron type connection, you know, like a Megazord coming together in one unit. So it's kind of collaborative. It's not just anything goes. Okay. Well, that's not quite as bad. I mean, anything goes in the gay scene is pretty wild stuff.
Well, in the best ways, of course.
Of course.
But orange especially is the color that says, you know, the color that says, look out, you know, here comes trouble. Yeah. And a while back, when I just felt the need to actually make a statement and say, okay, MFs, you know, you want trouble? Here comes trouble.
Here comes trouble.
Orange, you can pick it out in the
Well, I normally for my podcast, I have a kind of a format that I go by, but tonight I've just decided I'm going to flush the format and we're just going to talk and stuff. Because you're a very interesting pup, and I want everyone to be able to know your story. And you mentioned earlier some dates, but I don't think anyone realizes that you have been a pup for 36 years. And when you look back on 36 years, what kind of changes have you seen?
I have seen everything. I have.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
They eat the poo-poo.
Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it.
Because I'm a PUP-PLAY historian and researcher, amateur until recently. I'm making every effort I can to go professional here. We were able to narrow it down to where, you know, who were the first PUP-PLAY practitioners.
Do you know what it is as well? We'll move on to the actual meat and potatoes of this, but it's just so, I don't know what the word for it is. The idea that you can just put out there, you know, the most deepest, darkest ideas of what you're into and what you like and all this stuff, okay? And you can't be judged for it at all. You can't be mocked for it. You can't be criticized or commented on for it. You must just be, it's like, you must be accepted. It must just be accepted. No. I was up for, you know, what happens in the privacy of your own bedroom stays in your own bedroom. Okay? I'm very much a believer in that. And that was the kind of like calling card or the thing that was pushed for so long.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Do you think he likes it rough? Thank you for the $2. Right? But now it's like, no, it needs to be put about everywhere and you must like it and you must accept it. And if you don't like it, you're engaged in an anti-gay harassment campaign. No. No, listen, if people want to do PUP-PLAY and they want to do it in their bedroom and they're not hurting anyone and everyone's fucking into it, yeah, that's literally the premise of what I believe, which is whatever happens in the privacy of someone's bedroom, as long as no one's getting hurt, as long as no one fucking, as long as everyone's consenting and isn't fucking underage or any weird shit, cool. But it's this constant push to make it that you talk about it publicly as well. You know, I remember saying this before ages ago about the PUP-PLAY stuff, but I was like, it's or what was it? I think it was like, you know, the little where they act like a little child and stuff like that. Like these people were engaging in that at a public park, and I'm just like, well, no, that's absurd, you know, or like PUP-PLAY in the store or something like that. Armin Muse. Oh, that's the cannibal guy. That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. I'm not sure about that one. Was the guy mentally ill? I mean, you'd have to be mentally ill to say you can eat me and kill me, right? But I don't know if you can say it was actually fully... Well, consent needs to be of sound mind as well, right? Like, if someone's fucking disabled and that... Like, if there was... if there was a big thing happening and in the middle of it was a guy with, you know, severe Down syndrome, I mean, I don't know if I consider that to be acceptable, you know? Yeah, we got something lined up for Saturday. That guy that works with us, you know, the guy with, you know, the syndrome, he's coming round and he's going to be the centre. Oh my God, dude. What is going on today? Okay, anyway. So listen, I've seen enough of this. I think it's quite clear. Like, look, like I say, if this guy wants to do this, that's fine in the privacy of a bedroom. I don't like the fact that it gets put out publicly. And it's like, if you question it or talk about it or criticize it or mock it, that's considered bad when you're putting it out publicly to be looked at. And I think that, again, whilst I've got no control over this charity and it's nothing to do with me, I just would expect that you'd be a bit more buttoned down, a bit more suit and tie, and have less kind of like public stuff floating about you, some crazy shit. You know, if you want to be a senior manager at a charity. Anyway, so Bo Blacks has continued his campaign against this guy. So we've actually got the resignation letter here that I found, which we're going to have a look at. So Animal J. Smith has done a 180 and left Rainbow Passage as Director of Resettlement so he can start threatening people instead of resettling them. So, yeah, there's some, like, leaks and stuff that have been happening, right? But basically, from what I understand and from what I've kind of looked at, is there's been massive internal issues and discontent as a result of this drama, right? Because obviously people have been talking about and scrutinizing it, and Animal Smith has been at the kind of center of it because of the crazy shit that he's been putting out there. And obviously this has caused a lot of internal issues. But then people are pointing to the people that are looking at this, mocking about it and laughing at it, and are acting like they're the bad guys for just looking at stuff that's been publicly posted and talking about it, you know? And I'm sat here like, no, what are you on about? If there's anyone to blame, it's people that have not got any fucking discernment or discretion. So I resigned from Rainbow Passage today. We've got apparently his resignation letter to look at. And I'm guessing these are like leaks from internal conversations between the members of the team at Rainbow Passage, I think. So let's have a look at some of these. You are 60 years old, sir. Don't you have better things to do instead of trying to intimidate a 21-year-old? Welcome to Chud Nation. Hey, Dr. Man, thank you for the sub.
If you shaved your beard.
I would, and I'm going to do that. Thank you. I have not engaged with harassment and I will not be intimidated by your threats. You're threatening to false report me is actually insane. I don't understand exactly what's happening here, but I think I might block you as I do not want any more conflict. And you are also transphobic, so I wouldn't be surprised if you get a kick out of harassing trans youth. I am also disabled, so I guess you want to pick on someone who is already triple marginalised due to your privilege. Either way, I tried to be nice and I'll stop engaging with you. Too late. You've been reported. Lawyer up. So the other thing from this guy's post, and we looked at some others the other day, where he was like talking about some trans shit that he was dealing with, calling people fake trans and stuff. But he seems very like unbalanced and quick to anger, you know? And, you know, if you've got a senior position at a charity, you need to have a bit more of a level head. Surely. That's just obvious to me. You can't be fucking hot-headed because you're going to do crazy shit that's going to work out badly for you. While I appreciate your advocacy in the past, in the present you have been kind of acting a little mental. For your mental health, stay a step back and relax and focus on your own hobbies. For me, I draw. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'll check on you to make sure you're all right. Okay, that's it. Now I've got you in my metaphorical crosshairs, and this is targeted harassment. Lawyer up. Huh? Do you really want to get me pissed off at you? Child, you're in for a treat. Why are you threatening a child? You're 60, just block me. This is cyber stalking, cyber bullying, targeted hate speech. What's going on with this guy? Yeah, look, Connor's here saying, I wonder what made Rainbow Passage decide to let this guy be in charge of resettling vulnerable people. What sort of vetting process did they go through with him? Did they consider how he might respond to potentially emotional victims who might lash out at him unjustly? Yeah, this guy seems totally unbalanced, like not balanced and not all there. And then there's this. Imagine attacking and harassing a so Tipster, obviously, once again, fucking weighing into the situation and no doubt making things way fucking worse. Like, the thing is, from the perspective of Rainbow Passage, okay, put yourself in their shoes for a second, if you can manage that. From their perspective, they're going to want this to die down and then just move forward, okay? Because the noise and the attention that they're getting is likely to just dissipate, and then people will move on, and then they can just go back to doing whatever it is they're fucking doing. So I don't really understand why Tipster is like pushing this still, because all he's doing is provoking more drama and leading to yet more attention on this organization, you know? Imagine attacking and harassing a charity because someone you dislike retweeted it. And you harass the charity so much that you push someone to resign from their position at the charity and consider that a win. Normal people don't behave like this. This is extremely unhinged behavior. Seek help, Josh. You clearly need it. What harassment is it? I don't understand what this fucking harassment is. What is harassment now? Talking about, scrutinizing and discussing an organization. Like, all the stuff that's been posted has been publicly posted. All of the fucking Animal J. Smith stuff is all stuff from his profile or YouTube channels that he's fucking gone on. Where's the harassment here exactly? And all he's doing is just provoking more drama that people are going to discuss and pay attention to. Crazy. Seek help, Josh. And bear in mind as well, the only reason that Tipster is doing this is because, in my opinion, he doesn't like the bully streams that Boblax does. And so I think the reason that he's doing this is because he feels he's going to get support from the LGBTs in criticizing Josh's stream and not feel like he's just, you know, spurging out at him, you know? So then what else have we got here? Oh yeah, these are the leaks. These are some of the leaks that I saw. Rainbow Passage on high alert since criticisms on Twitter. This is Animal J. Smith, Euphoria Tory, and their Discord. Who is leaking this? There must be some internal leaker or something. That's crazy that all these leaks are coming out. Yeah, I did the chug a dude, I was doing that for like 4 hours at the start of the stream. How could you have missed that? That's crazy. We did loads of Chugga Cornroy stuff. But I'll do more tomorrow. I've got more to do tomorrow if you missed it. There's more responses to look at. But we did the whole document. Are you asleep? Okay, fair enough. Well, that's understandable. But yeah, if you want to see it, you can just scroll back. So, alert, alert, Rainbow Passage on high alert. So what is this he's sharing? So this is Animal sharing screenshots of Boblax. And then people responding here. And then he shared this account, which has got 2 followers. And I think still has 2 followers, or less than 10 at least. Like, this is like a random account. Like, this is not anything to worry about. This is literally like a no fucking nothing thing, right? Remove Rainbow Passage's non-profit status. Like, there is no... Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like a burner account or something. And then Animal says, I have literally dozens of these from the numerous blooms of vermin that erupted on the Dead Bird app overnight.
Okay,
And then
that's
Tory.
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
It's been pretty clear that Tipster goes overboard to defend whatever side he's on that day. It's not a surprise that he's making the situation worse. Also, isn't Boblax's sister a furry too?
Possibly. Thank you very much for the tip. Appreciate it. So this is Tory, or Euphoria Tory. So this is the social media manager. And we've got a little something to look at because I found a thread that I was trying to find the other day. Okay, so we'll get into that. But to be honest with you, Tory is probably speaking the most sense in this screenshot. This will pass and they will move on. We just have to wait it out. And yeah, that's probably true. People will move on. But also people like Tipster need to stop stoking the drama if you want that to happen as well. Tory closed the community server invites indefinitely. 2 weeks minimum. No one in unless vetted. I want to make one thing clear as treasurer of the... And it goes on. And then we've got confirmation here of Animal J. Smith resigning. I resigned from Rainbow Passage today. You did? Yeah. After I took all that garbage for the team over the weekend defending the org. Amy called me to the principal's office to scold me for being rude to a group of trans leftists who swarmed me on Blue Sky a week ago because I objected to someone saying, don't vote for genocide Joe Biden. It feels to me like if you're a senior management of some sort of organization like this, like you try not to get into like Twitter spats and arguments and stuff like that. What's a big charity? What's like a big charity organization or a big non-profit? Like, are the senior management at those companies, are they like arguing with people on social media and shit like that? Oxfam or Red Cross? Yeah, exactly. Like, who even is the senior management of Red Cross or Oxfam? Who fucking knows? I could probably go look them up, and I doubt they're getting into any meaningful discourse on social media. UNICEF, yeah, exactly. Like, these are organizations that take themselves quite seriously and probably try to avoid their senior management getting into big controversies or cringe shit online or something, you know? So anyway, so Animal's had his nose put out of joint because he's been defending the org and receiving attention from people that are mocking him for his weird shit. And then Amy, who I think was Amy the person whose interview we watched the other day. Is that right? Anyway, Amy called me into the principal's office to scold me for being rude to a group of leftists. I told Amy that I wasn't going to back down. She started shouting at me. I hung up on her and said to myself, you know, I'm done. I wrote a resignation letter to Danielle and that was that. I did what I set out to do with the organisation and I'm okay with calling it a career. Dude, if this level of scrutiny from niche internet micro celebrities like fucking Boblax is enough to make your organisation go to this level of like internal strife and issue, like how do they think they would cope if they ever grew? You know, imagine if like it wasn't a bunch of fucking commentary people just laughing at them on the internet. Imagine if this was someone with some political clout and power, like some Republicans got wind of this and they started to look into it and scrutinize it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's going to be way worse. If you can't handle this, how do you expect to be able to handle actual substantial scrutiny from people with political power? Jesus Christ, man. This is crazy. They're in shambles over a few people laughing at them on the internet. Beyond that, like, contact the IRS burner account. I don't think I've seen, I mean, listen, if it's there, I'll look at it. But I don't think I've seen anyone do anything except laugh and mock and, like, look at some of this guy's history. All publicly posted, right? What else is there that's happened? Anyway, this person also shared their resignation, which looks absolutely fucking gold. So let's have a look. Let's have a little look at this. So this is the letter to Danielle. Danielle, I just hung up on Amy and Tori when Amy started shouting at me. Amy asked me to hop on a call, and when I did, Tori was also there. Amy asked me, how do you feel about this? I assumed she was asking about how I felt about being attacked online, and told her that I was fine, and that I felt part of my job was to draw fire away from Rainbow Passage and its people. After remarking that she had taken a lot of grief and insults for defending me, she then ambushed me with cherry-picked selections from a deleted account of mine on Blue Sky, provided to her by someone whose name she did not mention, who was able to access an unknown website where deleted social media accounts can be searched and retrieved. I asked for her for that site's URL, and she said she was waiting on a reply for someone. Okay, this fella has not learnt the most fundamental rule of internet protocol, has he? If it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. Right? Like, that's it. Once you put it up there, think you get rid of it. No, there's often ways that people can retrieve it. So you should never put up something that you don't want to be looked at, because it will just, people are going to look at it, you know? Fucking hell, dude. Okay, he's 60, he's old, but like, he is in a fucking senior management position of a charity that is predominantly seemingly doing stuff online. So you either, in my mind, you be aware of the risks and take action accordingly, or you just be a boring old man who doesn't have weird controversies and shit, who just does the business that needs to be done for the organization. Well, I responded in very graphic terms to extremely graphic, violent and disgusting attacks on me and my family, including defaced photos of me from more than 100 trans people who jumped on me when I expressed objection to someone calling Biden Genocide Joe. She said, I don't want this call to end with you being fired. Fucking hell. Amy called me on the carpet as if I were in elementary school and she was the principal. She demanded that I justify my actions, asking, in what way do you think this reflects well on the organization? So also, the other thing to note here is seemingly it's not even the brouhaha online about this that's caused the issue. It's him arguing with trans people on the internet. Like, it's his own fucking actions that have got these people's nose put out of joint. I replied that in an early conversation shortly after we were incorporated from YBR into RP, I asked Amy specifically whether I needed to end my social media political activism, as a non-profit counsellor and YBR had indicated. Amy replied then that I could continue with my social media political activism and that she had no intention of muzzling me. Come on, muzzle? Really? You're using the word muzzle here? Is that for real? Just now, Amy admitted to saying that. Yeah, this is wildly unprofessional. To put out a letter, like, discussing all these personal issues or whatever. I further indicated to Amy that I rejected the premise of the call, that I did not appreciate being called on the carpet to have cherry-picked, contextless answers to horrifically abusive trolls. Our own community whose asses I'm putting on my own ass on the line to save thrown at me. And that I hadn't expected that I'd be lectured today by Mr. Rogers. Look. You can't, like, dude, it's so obvious, isn't it? How can you be a senior manager at this org, which is supposed to help troubled LGBT youths, when you get spun up into a frenzy, arguing with people on the internet, saying things which are going to be objectionable to people within that org even? Like, it's just so crazy to me. You're obviously not cut out for this. You're obviously not fucking, you're too unbalanced and too quick to fucking do shit to anger. Yeah, you're unhinged. You're fucking unhinged, clearly. Not expected. I'll be lectured today by Mr. Rogers. I then asked Amy, "What do you want me to do?" She apologized. She replied, "Apologize to these people on Blue Sky." I replied that first, that account was taken down and deleted by Blue Sky staff in response to my being mass reported. Fucking hell, dude. And second, even if it was still up, I had no intention of writing an apology of any kind to people who had attacked me with such vitriol, abuse, and hatred. And that Blue Sky was a tertiary app where I had a reach of about 14 people. She then asked if I'd be willing to tone down my rhetoric. I replied, I can do that, but I'm not particularly inclined to do so when I'm attacked to that level of abuse. So they weren't even willing to say that they'd back down from being so vicious in how they were going about their online presence either. Amy reacted with an immediate escalation into angrily shouting at me. I ended the call immediately and sent a message reading, "See ya! See ya!" I have not viewed or read any subsequent messages, and I just noticed that you joined the conversation which I just left. At this point, especially in light of the horrific and extreme brigading, ridicule, mass defamation, defacement of photos of me, and the use of my face and body in a 3.5 hour video posted to YouTube devoted to attacking and ridiculing and humiliating me. Dude, you posted this shit publicly. What are you on about? Using your face and body that you've put out there yourself. Fucking hell, man. That's crazy. Is he talking about Bo Black's stream? This is about Bo Black's stream, I'm assuming, right? Because Bo Blacks has gone fucking hell for leather over this guy. Well, I need to be careful what I say there, but... What happened to Pride? You guys are too much. I disavow. Yeah, I would say that Bo Blacks has got this guy on a leash. What do you reckon? As well as vile imagery, caricatures, and memes attacking me, my family, my faith, my profession, my activism, and my kink practices. No, you're not allowed to attack my kink practices, guys. How is that in the same line as my family? Are you serious? That's crazy. At least it's last, I guess. This is a letter. This is a letter of resignation that this guy sent, which somehow got leaked. I don't know how it happened, but here it is. As a result of my defense of Rainbow Passage, the 20 unpaid hours straight that I spent rooting out the ringleaders and providing screenshots to the group of what they were saying about RP and the circulation of an IRS complaint link. The circulation? That account's got 2 followers. What do you mean circulation? And the circulation of an IRS complaint link intended to cause the revocation of RP's non-profit status. And the unpaid hours I spent in conversation with you and others in the group reaching out to ensure the health and safety of affected RP members and staff. I am not inclined to continue as director or a member in any way of Rainbow Passage or to be associated with the organisation going forward. I feel that given Amy's management style, I could not be assured that I would not be subjected to similar abuse and humiliation from Amy or other members of the organisation in the future. I also feel that if a similar situation should arise online, where I'm set upon by hundreds of internet trolls sending their hate and abuse and defaced images of me to tens if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world as a result of my involvement with Rainbow Passage, I could not depend on the organisation to support me, to have my back, or to defend me in any way, but would instead likely be blamed for my behaviour and shouted and screamed accusations and terminated. I see no need and have no desire to even risk that possibility, to be honest, that eventuality. Fucking hell. Further, the pack betrayed it. Further, the injuries I have sustained physically, reputationally, and emotionally over the past 4 days in the defense of Rainbow Passage in the course of my duties as a director, and as one of only 2 people, Tory being the other one, who was doing anything to try and stop these people from reaching our staff and clients, as they were sabotaging and attempting to eliminate the organization. I mean, I don't know what the physical thing is about. That's crazy. I wouldn't put it past people to play silly buggers and do trolling shit and maybe even, take it to like real life in some way. But like, where is this happening? The vast majority of what I saw was just mockery, talking about it, making streams and laughing. But this guy's trying to present this much stronger image of it being worse than that.
Off depressed people.
The pack will feast on you.
Thank you, Pup Chieftain Smith, for the 333. Stop these people from reaching out. Our staff and clients who are sabotaging and attempting to eliminate the organization are too profound and significant for me to regard the way I was just handled as anything other than unthinkably arrogant, unappreciative, rude and unacceptable professional and personal attack on me and my lengthy and distinguished career as a HIV/AIDS, an LGBTQ plus activist for the past 38 years. Okay. Okay. Yesterday, for the first time I can remember, I said to myself, why the hell am I doing this for these people? Why should I spend another minute of my life away from my family and art and everything I hold dear to try and protect a group of people who attacks someone who's trying to protect them from MAGA and the Christio-fascists? Who's busting his ass for a group that actually rescues them? I'm 62 years old, Danny, and I have AIDS and diabetes and PTSD and a family I cherish and a soaring international art career and a life to fill with joy, making up as best I can for the 22 years that were stolen from me by terrorists who changed my life forever on September 11th, 2001. Oh no, the fucking 9/11 roleplay, dude. Oh no. Just 4 blocks from my home. Lost in fewer than 100 minutes that morning, turning me into a homeless and destitute refugee overnight, and which experience was held up over the past 4 days online for extreme ridicule, doubt, questioning, accusations of lying, and expressions that I deserved it. Fuck me, man. This dude has lost it, hasn't he? Fuck me. Given today's offence, I feel that it's time for me to go. My family needs me, and I want to spend the rest of my life in service to them, to my lifelong deferred dreams, my art, my health, and our future. Well, who knows how much time this guy's got left, eh? I mean, Jesus. Apparently he's got AIDS, not just HIV. AIDS is like pretty serious stuff, pretty rough stuff, isn't it? That's like, ooh. You can control HIV, AIDS kind of just ravage you, especially with the diabetes, man. That's rough. My intent was to stay with the organisation through the election until the end of the year and then to retire, to finally lay down my sword and shield, securing the knowledge that I'd finished the race and kept the faith, that I'd done what I intended to do, pass on my treasure trove of knowledge that can't be found online, but only in the memories and hearts of the surviving activists from the 90s, so that those tactics and techniques and strategies and the memory of those who marched by my side and were taken so young and so cruelly would not die with me.
Okay, that's wonderful. But
how did they get taken exactly? What's that about?
People? Anyone have his RP server link and willing to RP as my dad?
Thank you, Pete Davison at 333. Was it like, did they get murdered or, they get shot, stabbed? What happened to them? How did they get robbed tragically so young? What's that about? Sounds tragic. Okay, come on. To be honest, I feel that over the past 6 months with YBR and RP, I've done that, and I see no need for me to linger. You are all in great shape now, and I'm confident that my passion and commitment to the cause is at least matched and likely exceeded by every member of the board and every volunteer, and that the souls that you will rescue are in the best possible hands. I need to attend to some personal issues now and for a while. If you'd like to talk or text later this evening, I'll be free for a while starting at 9 p.m. Thanks, Animal. There we go, guys. Look, guys, I'm trying to be respectful here, okay? I'm trying to be respectful. Come on, man. Your entire charity rips apart the seams because of a bit of online mockery and a fucking 2-follower account saying contact the IRS. Dude. That's mental. I'm trying to... Come on, man. Is this the guy that's leaking? Too kinky to be the director of anything. Can I show this? Is this allowed? Me down what I belong. Looking up at IML Marcus Barella, that's SF Eagle Leather Pup contest. Oh, come on, man. Show me a senior director at fucking Red Cross in an image like that. I mean, I just don't think it exists because I think people recognize that if you want to be on a like senior manager of a charity, you have to be careful with what you put online, lest you get fucking mocked and talked about. Anyway, what's this guy's do? Is he a cowboy or something, is he? I would have thought he'd be made of tougher stuff than this. No? Anyway, I don't think this person's the leaker. They just happen to have got hold of this and they're putting it out there.